I want to do the harmonic breath first, and then I'll guide us through a little bit of silence before we jump into the first 4 of the 8 key breaths. So there are a lot of different breaths in the practice. And the monks that did this work, they actually would bury themselves in sand and learn to breathe through the pores of their skin. So we know we know that there is a substance in the air that is not the air. It is called prana, life force energy, or chi. You might have heard it called many different things. This is what we're doing when we're breathing these breaths. We are activating the prana in our body, and it is stored up in our mind and our body for future use, for healing and healing ourselves, healing others, and all kinds of other things. So for the harmonic breath, it's very popular breath in many yogic traditions, and in mental physics, we breathe in for the count of 4. And we hold for 16, and then we exhale for 8. The nostrils change throughout the day. They get, sometimes one is bigger than the other. I'm sure we've all experienced that when you're getting more air in through one side than the other. And when you're breathing in through your left nostril, you're getting negative current, like a lunar current, which is corresponding to the blood system, the circulatory system. And when you're inhaling through the right, that corresponds with the nervous system. So if you're getting more air in through the right side, you might feel a little agitated or something like that. And if you're getting too much air in through your left side, then you might be feeling a little bit lethargic. So the goal is to do these alternate nostril breaths to balance the hemispheres of your brain. And you can do this one anytime, anywhere. So let's get started on the harmonic breath. We'll plug our right nostril. And then before each of the mental physics breaths, we think or we say out loud, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now you can say, I thank you, God, Holy Spirit, whatever it is that calls to you. The idea is to take that brief moment right before, just to give thanks for the breath without which there is no life. Every moment is a new moment of life. And Dingle always says, from the first breath of the newborn baby to the last gasp of the dying man, life is a series of breaths. It always is amazing to me to think that everyone around the whole world is breathing in and out this same breath. Okay, so for the harmonic breath, we're plugging the right nostril and we're inhaling for the count of 4. Holding for 16. The thumbs correspond to the lung meridian, so you can use that if you want, or you can also just use one hand. 15, 16, and exhale for 8. Inhaling through the left for 4. Hold for 16. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Unplug the right and exhale for 8. And now inhaling through the right for 4. Hold for 16. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Unplug the left, exhale for 8. One more cycle, inhale 4. 16. Unplug the right, exhale 8. And last one, 4. Hold 16. And unplug the left and exhale for 8. This is a wonderful breath just to get yourself centered and calm before anything that you do. Okay, so let's just sit down and get still for a moment, get centered before we jump into the main part of the 8 key breaths. Just feeling yourself centered within your own being. Breathing in through the nose. All the mental physics breaths are breathed through the nostrils. There's filters in there that sort everything in the best ways for your body and your brain. And so it is important. Dingle talks a lot about breathing through your nose as much as possible. And if you have blockages in your nose, the breaths can actually help you resolve those over time. Breathing in deeply all the way down into the belly. So we breathe through the nose all the way deep down into the belly, then the middle chest, upper chest, and then you'll hear myself or Dingle say big sniff at the top. You just want to fill your lungs as full as possible. And then exhaling everything out. Relaxing right down. Feeling yourself completely centered and relaxed inside your own being. Almighty and eternal fount of wisdom, grant us knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, that we may speak here words of truth, love, and hope. We ask for light from the higher spheres, and may our guides guard and control our mind and tongue, so that nothing but the truth may here be given, and that the good seed sown may find fertile spots to live and grow. And those who are now in darkness and obscurity, may they be brought forth into the radiant sunshine and the joyous glory of the unfoldment of true spiritual goodness. And now we imagine a great wall of golden light about us. Nothing can penetrate or pierce this light, as it holds us all protectingly in its own essence. Above us, the higher ones in the great hierarchy of universal wisdom, holding over us that gossamer substance that forms a panoply under which we all rest together in the great peace. Within the circle there is wisdom, and below the circle there is love. God is love. Big deep breath in through the nose, all the way down into the belly. And exhaling with a sigh. There are a lot of different kinds of breath work. And what I do know is the individuals that Dingle studied with lived well into their 300s. So this definitely, as I mentioned, you can build up and store prana in your body for all kinds of different things. Okay, so I'm going to go over a few pointers for the breath work. There's a few things to remember before and during practicing these breaths. One, as I mentioned, is breathing down into the belly, chest, upper chest, throat, big sniff. The other is common in yoga practices called the Ujjayi breath. So it's kind of open-throated breathing. So if you're going to yawn, or you're halfway through a yawn, then your throat is kind of open. And so try that. Just pretend like you're going to yawn and feel that open space in there. So when your throat is open, that's how you want to be breathing. When you're breathing in through your nose, through that open space in your throat, and then again, all the way up into your whole body cavity, big sniff so that every part of your lungs is filled with the air. And then there's something called the secret switch, which is just placing your tongue on the roof of your mouth. This is a signal to your nervous system to completely relax your body. There's a cranial sacral bone up on the maxilla bone on the roof of your mouth that actually moves and breathes. And so as you're inhaling through the breaths, and since we're just learning the mechanics of it, as you go along practicing the breath work, and especially throughout this next 9 days, you'll find that you'll get better and better at remembering to do these little things as you go along. So the secret switch is what that's called. I'll say first the thought, and that is, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. And then I'll say, pull that secret switch. And that just means to place your tongue on the roof of your mouth before we get into the breath work. Sometimes you will hear lock it up, and that just means to swallow after the breath, so that your body, it gives the signal to your body to just absorb all of that air, prana, oxygen, everything that you've just. So the science of mental physics is the science of feeling. And when we're going to be doing these breaths, we'll do the breath, and then we'll sit in the silence. I will say the affirmation, and your job is to just be aware and observe what's happening inside your body, how this air is mixing and melding inside your body. The first of the 8 key breaths is called the memory developing breath. And we always joked when we were learning these that, you're getting such copious amounts of oxygen that of course it's going to help your memory. But actually what it does is it helps you remember who you are and why you are here on the planet, what your purpose is on the planet will awaken more deeply within you as you practice this breath work. So take a moment, set your own personal intention, what you hope to maybe release by doing the breaths, and what you hope to gain today, what you would like to get out of being here for these 9 days. And just thank yourself for doing something new and possibly unknown and beneficial for your self-care. Breathe in through the nose, and the exhale, which is equally as important, is a forceful exhale, and it's kind of like a CH sound. So breathing in through the nose, deep belly, chest, big sniff. And then through each of the breaths, we'll be holding like a tense position, and then the exhale, squeezing all that old stale air out of the bottom of your belly, squeezing it out the same way that it came in, and then relaxing completely right down. The first of the 8 key breaths is the memory developing breath, as I mentioned. This is to ignite the 49 fires in the body. This is one of the more involved breaths, and in order to explain it to people who have not done it, the best way I've found is those old water pumps where you're pumping the water, you're pumping it, and then when you stop, that water begins to flow. So you think of your own body like that pump, and I'm going to sit down and demonstrate. This is the only breath done sitting. All the breaths have your ankles touching. So this is as if you were sitting in the 7-fold lotus position, and it creates a 7-fold electrical connection in your body. So your heels are touching, your hands are facing downward on the knees. And the memory developing breath looks like this. It's done in 3 sets of 14, and then a final, he calls it the final triumphant 7. I try to teach this exactly the way Dingle taught it. So nothing is lost in the translation from thousands of years. So it is interesting. I've had a couple students who practiced, the Brahma Vidya, and they said it is exactly the same. So that makes me feel good. So some of the languaging is, from the early 1900s, but I just teach it the way that he taught it. Palms downward on the knees, and I'll say first the thought, thank you, Lord, for the breath of my life, pulling that secret switch, and then we'll exhale together. So you'll have to watch me, squeezing it all out, making room. And then this is what it looks like. And if you can, might be a lot in the beginning, but if you can, as your head goes back, first be gentle on your neck and put that tongue on the roof of your mouth every time your neck goes back. Just like that. And you don't have to worry about counting because I will count for you. And then I'll just say after the first set of 14, I'll say rest, rest. And then that is when you just sit there and observe what's going on inside your body after breathing all this oxygen and prana. The practice just deepens so much. There's so much, once you get the mechanics, then you get to really go deep into the practice. So it's wonderful. So we'll start with our hands down. The breath work, we want to have our body be like a lightning rod. And just to let you know, the goal of the breaths, the whole systematic series of the 8 key breaths is, in mental physics, we look at our body like a magnet. I mean, we're electromagnetic chemical beings. And there's a lot of different teachings about it. When we clear our own magnet, clean our own magnet of anything that is no longer serving us, then we just have more space and more room for the light to shine in our life. And for more positive experiences to come to us. He called it like a super yoga. And you know, in yoga is an active practice. You're not just sitting there, you're constantly adjusting for deeper and better practice. So it's the same way with the breath work. You're going deeper as time goes on. You're straightening your spine even more. You're getting your position even better, you know, as time goes on. Okay, so here we go. Palms downward on the knees. Thinking upward to the top of your head. First the thought, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale, squeezing all that old air out. Now up, up. One more. Breathing it all out, resting, observing and feeling inside yourself. You might feel heavy. You might feel tingling at the top of your head or hot or cold. Just observe. Let's go for our second set of 14. Palms downward on the knees, spine straight, shoulders back and down. And remember, go easy on your neck. First, the thoughts, I thank thee, Lord, of my life. Now together we exhale, dropping the head, squeezing it out and up. One more. Breathing in slowly, relaxing right down and just watching. Just feeling. Just observing any thoughts that might arise, let them float on by. Feeling inside your body. And now 2 more 7s. Together we exhale. And up. Last one. Spine is straight and relaxed. Feeling coming right down. And now for our final triumphant 7, giving it your very best. All together we exhale. And up. One more. Now with your spine straight, turning your palms upward on your knees, keeping your eyes closed. Now I imagine a great light at the top of my head. The top of my head is heavy and relaxed. The forehead is heavy. The eyes are relaxed. The muscles of the face are withdrawn. The jaw gently drops. No pressure on the teeth. The arms and hands are very heavy. But oh, how happy I feel. I feel happy all over, particularly in my beautiful face. My face is bathed in my smiles. My whole body is bathed in the blushes of my smiles. I feel a gentle pressure from within, outward. And this gentle pressure is taking away any little lines of care, worry, inward disappointment, fear, anything negative. I feel happy all over. And now I bring that light down, down. My chest is relaxed. The abdomen falls down and the light comes down, down, down to the tips of my toes. And now I imagine that great light at the back of my neck. I'm looking down over my beautiful spine. It seems as if I'm looking at a wonderful waterfall with the sunshine playing on it, so that I see a countless number of tiny specks of iridescent light, light, light. And I know my whole body to be full of light. If thine eye be single, the single eye, the inner eye, the spiritual eye, the creative eye, the eye that I am now using, if thine eye be single, my whole body shall be full of light. And I know that every single cell in my being is a power plant working for me. It's a lamp, a light, a torch, bringing to me the light of the divine wisdom within me, within me. The light being in perfect correspondence with the flame the flame that is in perfect correspondence with the fire that is in the center of centers of my inmost being, the fire of divine love within me. And so feeling heavy, imagining that I'm looking upward to the top of my head, imagining a great golden shower of light going out in all directions. The secret of the golden flower. I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. I swallow and I lock it up. I make it my own. And I wake up quietly. Very nice. The next breath is pretty simple. And from here on out, the positioning is the same for all of the standing breaths. So you want to have your heels touching, shoulders back and down, pulling downward on the fingertips. Everything is tight. So you want to squeeze your buttocks tight. Your knees are snapped back. Spine is completely straight. It's a sensation of pulling upward from the top of the head and also rooting downward through the bottom of your feet, pulling downward on your fingertips. So feel that sensation for a minute where you're kind of stretching in between heaven and earth. The second breath, the revitalizing breath, it's just, we're going to exhale together, breathing all the way in, deep belly, chest, upper chest, big sniff. And then we're just going to hold it and keep tightening that position, keep tightening your buttocks, keep pulling down on the fingertips, and just feel that your whole body filled with this breath and this prana. And then when I give you the signal, we exhale, keeping that strong position. So this is tricky in the beginning when you're learning. You want to keep the tension when you're inhaling, and you also want to keep the tension when you're exhaling. And the body has a tendency to kind of want to relax when you let your breath go. So just try to keep the tension, exhaling, and then relaxing right down. Okay, here we go. Pulling downward, pulling that secret switch. First, the thought, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. And now all together we exhale, making space. Pulling that switch, breathing all the way into the deep belly, all the way up into the throat, big sniff. And pulling downward on those fingertips. I am the master of my body. I am the master of my body. Now keeping your spine straight, no dropping of the head or the neck. Together we exhale. And then we take a little breath and we relax our body for the affirmation. So keeping your eyes closed, feeling inward. The success of this breath depends upon your ability to relax. And so relaxing completely, coming right down. We think of and we feel for the hidden meaning, the inner meaning of these sublimely simple words. I am whole. Nothing is lacking. Nothing can be added. I am whole. I am perfect. Perfect as the Father which is in heaven within me is perfect. I am strong. I am strength. I am strong. I am powerful, full of power. Every single cell in my body is a power plant working for me. I am powerful. I am loving. Loving. I am the substance of the universe in action. I am love moving. I am loving. I am harmonious, in harmony, balance, poise, equilibrium. I am in harmony with the laws of this universe, the eternal, enduring, everlasting law of this universe. I am harmonious. I am rich. Rich. I draw my supply from the source of all supply. I am rich. I am young. I am youth. I am life's greatest reflection. I am youth. And I am happy. I look happy. I feel happy. I am happy. And now feeling happy, upward, giving thanks, outward. Slowly, I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. And I swallow, I lock it up. It is my own. I take another little breath and a quick sigh. And I wake up quietly. Okay, we're going to move right on into the third breath, the inspirational breath. Same positioning, heels touching, shoulders back and down. Now this one, on the inhale, we're going to be moving our arms slowly all the way in, all the way up. And so the very height of our breath will culminate at the top, like big sniff. And then at the top, we're going to make our right thumb under our left, making a triangle at the top of our head. And this is like the triangle of manifestation. So you can think, I usually say success to mental physics, and then whatever you're creating in your life, just kind of send that vision through the triangle. This happens very rapid fire. Backs of the hands together, and then the exhale for the inspirational breath is done in 4 parts. Just like that. Okay, here we go. First, the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Make sure everything's tense. Now pulling that secret switch, all together, we exhale. And now inhaling all the way in, not too fast, all the way up, right thumb under the left, big sniff. Backs of the hands together, we exhale. And now relaxing right down for the affirmation, keeping your eyes closed, remembering that the science of mental physics is a science of feeling, a science of the soul. So feel into the depths of your own being right now, relaxing entirely, coming right down, relaxing completely. I thank thee, Lord, for my body, the temple of the living God, the temple of the God that lives within me, that is alive within me. My body, my beautiful body, the transcendentally beautiful, the infinitely intricate, and the most gloriously accurate instrument in this universe. My body, the temple of the living God, the temple of the God that lives within me, within me. I stand in reverence. I stand in adoration. I stand in veneration before the wisdom pent up in the very substance of my being. And I pledge myself, I vow that from this moment forward, nothing that I shall do or say or think shall injure or abuse this temple of the living God, my body. And so feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward, slowly, I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. I take another little breath and a quick sigh, and I sit down quietly. Okay, we're going to do the fourth and final breath for today. And then remember, I said tomorrow we're going to go through the second 4 breaths. And then for the following 7 days, we'll just get on and practice each morning and go about our day. The fourth breath. Same position to get started. And then we put our hands outward like this. As we're holding our air, so we'll breathe in. As we're holding our air, we're going to make 3 swings, nice and easy like this. So your body's not moving, just your arms are moving. 3 times. Swing number 3, and then arms at the sides back to that strong position. And then we exhale. And then relax right down. So as important as breathing all that deep air in, and as important as squeezing all the old stale air out, relaxing is as important as that tense position. So all these factors are important, just like that the water pump. It's in that relaxing that allows all that energy and prana to move through your body and light up every cell. So here we go with the fourth breath, the perfection breath. Everything is tight, buttocks tight, knees snapped back, pulling down on the fingertips, spine is straight, head and neck is always loose. And now we get ready. First, the thought, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together, pulling that switch, we exhale. Breathing all the way in, deep down into the belly, all the way in, up, big sniff. Swing number 1. Swing number 2. Swing number 3. Arms at the sides. We exhale, keeping that tension. And then completely relaxing right down. Feel your body relaxing completely. Coming right down, relaxing entirely. As I prepare myself to think the greatest thought I shall ever be able to think. Whatever the creator is, I am. Differentiated from all the other life forms in this universe, I am the creator in human form. The creator is right here, right in the heart of me, right in the mind of me, right in the substance of me, right in the being of me. Reveal thyself, O Lord of my life, Lord of the eternal, thou that art the same yesterday, today, tomorrow, forever. Reveal thyself. Come, I wait, I listen. I am still within me. I watch within. to see the Creator at work within the temple. Peace, peace, peace. I will to see the Creator at work within the temple. The Creator is right here, listening to the sounds of the universe through my ears. And so feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward, imagining that great golden shower of light going out in all directions. Slowly, ever so tenderly, I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh, letting go of everything that is no longer serving me. And now I take a little breath and a quick sigh, and I wake up happy, knowing that the things that we build into our consciousness, the words that we speak, the thoughts that we think, create our reality. So knowing that these thoughts that we build into our consciousness come from these words that we declare, repeat after me in firm and positive tones. I am eternal life. I am eternal love. I am truth. I am peace, and peace dwells in me. I am power. I am wisdom. I am justice. I am that I am. I give thanks for all that ever was. And I give thanks for all that is. I give thanks for all that ever will be. I question not the divine love, the divine wisdom, the divine justice. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be blissful. And may all beings be happy. And then I always like to end my class with the sevenfold peace chant of the Essenes. And it goes like this. Peace. 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 Now the challenge is 9 days, of course. I would love to see you all every morning if you can. If you can't, just challenge yourself to do the breath work at some point during the day. And then I wanted to say what she's talking about, doing it without doing the breath work, but just doing it in your imagination, because in our imagination, we can do anything and our body actually doesn't know the difference. I've witnessed a lot of different things. And plus, you know, stories come down from the lineage. There's one of these two reverends that were trapped in a submarine and the air hose got cut and the men panicked, except the mental physics guy knew apparently how to access that stored up prana. Was trying to teach the men how to breathe. He was able to live for 3 days with no oxygen. So that, there is just proof that there is something in the air that is beyond the oxygen, that's like source energy that we can access at any given moment to create. We literally have the power of the universe within us that we just need to accept, allow, receive, and open up to, and yeah. And this is not just to say that whatever the creator is, we're that does not discount any of the masters or teachers or anybody who's ever come before. It just means that we're all part of the same source energy. We're connected. We're connected by the breath. We're connected by our hearts all around the world. Anybody, doing these breaths today, sometimes things can arise. Like if we're going to be doing this 9 days in a row, things come up to be released. So just let them come up. Try not to get too, just observe and let it up and out. That's the point of it all, is to get all that gunk that has been stored from past trauma, from other lifetimes, from things that you're holding on to let that release, so that, we can have more light in our life to see clearer. It's like a process of enlightenment, of gaining more light. I think it's a lifelong practice myself, to do that.